So I'm just going to preface this project. I've already finished it. It's all working fine. But I just wanted to preface it with, look, this is quite a bit of work. It took about 4 hours. The most part of it is just stripping and tinning wires. It takes a very long time and it's very tedious, but the results speak for themselves. It's not a hard project to do. It's good to get your fingers, your feet wet, soldering or whatever else, and you know, it's a good gateway into repros and everything else that you can do with NES cartridges. Yeah, to say that, look, it's definitely worth it. It's not hard. It's just very tedious and very long kind of thing to do. Very rewarding, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so you enjoy the video, I hope, and I'm gonna have fun playing this. Okay, so here's another project I'm working on. This is a Japanese Super Mario RPG card. I'm gonna turn it into an English one. That works on a PAL console as well. This is the circuit board. I've already removed the mask ROM using some cutters. Cut it out, soldered the little bits away. I started stripping some wires. Yeah, this took like 15 minutes. I need to do 40 wires. Anyway, what I wanted to show you first, this is, I'll show you this, Eeprom Programmer. If you're looking for an Eeprom Programmer, a cheap one, definitely this is from, I think it's MCU Mall. Get the programmer, get the 16-bit adapter. Can't remember what the code for it is on the website. Oh, it is ADP054. So besides having an Eeprom programmer, you need one of these. This is a 27C322 Eeprom, 4 megabytes, so 16 megabits. Oh, that's not right. 32 megabits. That's what the 322. God, I'm an idiot. Okay, so that's in there. Currently, it's blank. Basically, what we're doing is replacing this, which is the mask ROM. It's a flash ROM with one of these, which is the English one, and this is the Japanese one. You're not going to be able to use it again, so that's why I suggest to cut it off. Then we're going to solder it onto the slot here. The wiring is mostly the same except for 2 wires. And if you have a PAL machine, you have to change 1 wire on this chip to make it not fail the CIC check, so you can use an unmodified PAL unit. So I've already got this loaded up. If you haven't used an Eeprom programmer before, they're pretty simple. Basic gist is the chip has to be empty. One of these chips anyway has to be empty. A little window there is where the data is. You flash it with UV light using a UV Eeprom eraser, which I have somewhere. Moving sucks. So I've already blank checked it. I've already got the code loaded in. You're going to make sure that the code is exactly this big. 4194304 bytes. That's exactly 4 megabits, or megabytes, sorry. Any bigger or smaller than that, it's wrong. Simple enough. It's the USA version. Make sure when you burn it, you verify it. Verify it twice, verify it 3 times. After you solder 40 wires on, you're not going to want to do it again. So I'm just going to write it as soon as I can find. That's the batch button, where the right button is. That one? Yes. Yeah, this part takes a while. So that's pretty simple. You select your device, which I didn't show you. Data in, which I didn't show you again. And you click right. Easy enough. And lights are going nuts. So yeah, 42 wires. This is 18. I've only done one side of it. I've got to tin them. I've got to solder them on. I'll do the other side as well. I may separate them so it's a bit easy to do. Yeah, obviously this project requires a little bit of soldering skill, but you'll be surprised it's really not all that much. It does look kind of small, but when you look at like that chip, it could be worse. Yeah, I don't recommend this for beginners, but yeah, it's good practice. I've never done a reproduction before, so it's kind of interesting for me too. We'll learn together. I've also bought some batteries, but they haven't arrived yet. And I wanted to change the battery before I made the card, but the battery's simple enough. It's just 2 pins, pull it out, replace it. So you don't really need information on how to do that. Yeah, I'll probably clean up the contacts a bit because they're a bit shitty. Anyway, so I'll get to that, and Hopefully the next video it's not 3 days later because I'm going to be still doing this, and we'll see how we go from there. So I'm at 55%. One thing I forgot to mention, if you do buy one of these, you'll see this little one here. Just for this kind of Eeprom, 27C 322, you'll see the, you might be able to see that. Alright, yep. You need to change this jumper over for that to run. It must be a different address line or something, otherwise it'll cut off at 50%, which it done for me because I forgot about it. So now I've got to find my Eeprom eraser for that one, but yeah. So don't forget that part if you have one of these. Plotting along, 59%. Got some wire stripped. No, anyway. Alright, so that's 41 wires stripped. You only need 40, but I had them in batches of 20, so 4, I guess. And one long one. Okay, so basically the wiring scheme is this. You have 39 same length wires, about, you know, that long. To sort of get a comparison, it's about the size of the cart. It could be a bit shorter, it doesn't really matter, but this makes it a bit easier. Hopefully they're not too long in the end. And then one slightly longer wire. Now the reason for this is the mask ROM which was here and the new ROM that you're putting in have almost identical wiring schemes. This here being pin 1 and that here being pin 4. Oh, shit, that there being pin 44, 46, 44. The new ROM we're putting in is 42 pins, but this pin here, the first pin is not connected, and somewhere in the middle here, pin 33 is not connected. So that'll be pin 31 or 32. Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out in a second. So those two aren't connected, and also this pin here, the last pin, pin 44, is pin number. Pin number 31. It's above the non-connected pin on the Eeprom. So that's why you need this long one, because it has to go from there. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hold it. It used to go from there to about here somewhere on the chip. So all the rest will kind of sort of just come up and straight back up again, where this one will sort of come and up around. This kind of did take a long time. This is about half an hour or so of work. You know, stripping them, tinning them, and trimming them down. The next part will take a little while as well, because they're such fine, you know, they're pretty fine contacts. And I got this here. This is my, for some reason it's on, my multimeter. Once you're done, test continuity with the wires next to it. Make sure they're not touching. If they're touching, you could do some damage to either the cart or even your console if you touch the wrong wires together. There's a very slight chance of that, but probably there won't be. Right, so I'm going to get to that, and hopefully I can have that finished tonight. It's 8:30 now. It's a Friday, so, you know, no bedtime for me, being a big boy and whatever. Hopefully I get it done tonight, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. Alright, see you soon. Focus. There we go. So, they're all on. Now, you can see if you look carefully enough. Where is it? I can't even fucking see it. On the right of that orange wire there is an empty pin. And that pin there, pin 44, is also empty. And then you have this really long black wire here. Yeah. So all those are prepared and they're ready to go. Just going to stick a layer of electrical tape over the top. Now, when you go continuity testing, sorry for that, these, I'll try to zoom in. You'll be able to see it. I can see that perfectly until it's defocused. Come on. There we go. Those 3 pins there are actually connected, so your continuity tester will say that those are connected. Don't stress like I did. Yeah. So everything else is cool. I've also, I'll zoom in again. That would be in. Prepared the chip. I bent up the legs and cut them off, and then tin them a bit. I find the best way to break is drop it. Is best way to bend them up against the end of a desk. I sort of push them up until they come up. Careful not to snap them. If you do, obviously you're gonna have to burn another one. So yeah, if you're pointing at the desk, there's nothing there. This is ready to go. That's ready to go. There's nothing all done. This took a lot less time than I thought. It took about 10 minutes to do both the board and the chip. As you can see, I got this black one looped about here. With the rest, it's literally just 1 to 1 across the top. The last pin on the board doesn't connect to anything, so it's just 1 to 1. This one has the first 10 pins from the left, go on the 10 pins of the chip. Then the very right pin. Then on the board, there's a skipped pin after these 10. I'm not explaining it too well. And then it's the rest of them across. Shiny. One more thing left to do. This will work on an NTSC or a modded SNES. I have both, but I wanted to make it work on an unmodded SNES. So there's one more thing I need to do. Lift 127, pin 127 off this chip under here. It's now covered in fucking wires. And I'm going to test it. If it works while it's floating, then that's good. If it doesn't, I have to supply 5 volts from this side of the cap to it. Not a big deal. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's see how I go. So we're on my floor. This is my SNES. That is the cartridge. I put some hot glue on it. I was one of the ones who had to use... Oh, sorry, the lighting's a bit poor. I might come back up here. Oh. I was one of the ones who had to use the 5 volt to the 127 pin. So I've done that here and glued the cord down. I put a bit of glue under here. Put some tape on the bottom of this chip. The good thing about SNES carts, and any carts really, you could use them without the shield on. With the SNES, chips go towards the back. The logical thing when you think about it is the chips go towards the front. They don't. They go towards the back. Would help if I centered it. Okay. And there we are. What's the time now? Okay, so it's almost 10 o'clock now. It took about 4 hours worth of work, off and on. I think it was worth it. So this is the Japanese Super Mario RPG converted to a PAL English version. A lot cheaper, a lot more fun to do. And all I gotta do is put it back in the case and I'm gonna make a custom label for it when I get some proper paper to print it on and get the printer working, I guess. Might help. But yeah. I guess that'll be it for now. Comments, questions, insults, leave them in the box below. See you later.